Hello everyone, I am V. Sarala, working in DNR College in MCA department. My subject is Wireless and Ad Hoc Networks in MCA 5th semester. Today we will discuss about the topic HyperLAN. HyperLAN stands for High Performance Radio LAN and was initiated by the group of the ETSI, European Telecommunications Standards Institute, as a European standard for high speed wireless local networks. So called HyperLAN, the first defined technology by this standard group. This is started in 1992 and completed in 1997. Unlike IEEE 802.11, which was based on products, HyperLAN 1 was based on certain functional requirements specified by ETSI. HyperLAN uses cellular-based data networks to connect to an ATM backbone. The main idea behind HyperLAN is to provide an infrastructure or ad hoc wireless networks with low mobility and a small radius. In 1993, CEPT, Committee of European Post and Telecommunication, released spectrum of 5 and 17 GHz for the implementation of the HyperLAN. During the standardization process, a couple of HyperLAN 1 prototypes were developed. HyperLAN 1, we have HyperLAN 2, which aims at higher data rates and intends to accommodate ATM as well as IP type access. This standardization process is under development. They have coordinate with IEEE 802.11a standard in the physical layer specification and current work on the MAC, medium access control, and support to quality of service under the progress. HyperLAN supports isochronous traffic with low latency, and the HyperLAN stand family has 4 different versions. In this table, the HyperLAN protocol family. 4 versions are HyperLAN 1, HyperLAN 2, HyperLAN 3, HyperLAN 4. In this table, different properties. The properties are application, frequency, topology, antenna, range, quality of service, mobility, interface, data rate, power conservation. HyperLAN 1 physical HyperLAN 1 physical and MAC layers. The physical layer of the HyperLAN 1 uses 200 MHz at 5.15 5.35 GHz, which is divided in 5 channels in the European Union and 4 channels in the United States. The physical layer of the HyperLAN 1 codes each 416 bits into 496 coded bits with a maximum of 47 code words per packet. Next one, the HyperLAN MAC protocol defines a priority scheme and a lifetime for each packet, which facilitates the control of quality of service QoS. The MAC layer also handles the encryption and power conservation. The MAC address of the HyperLAN uses 6 bytes to support IEEE 802.2 LLC. Each packet has 6 address fields that identify source, destination, and immediate neighbor transmitters and receivers. The HyperLAN 2. Today, HyperLAN 1 is not considered a successful standard by the European Union, but the HyperLAN 2 project is very popular in and out of the European Union. The HyperLAN 2 standardization process coordinated with IEEE 802.11 in defining the transmission technique and is working on new higher layers that facilitate the integration of WLANs into the next generation cellular systems. While it is still under development, HyperLAN 2 aims at IP and ATM type services. HyperLAN 2 that started as a wireless ATM type activity now aims at the connected the IP based. The HyperLAN 2 standard activities group has 4 subgroups in fast accessibility, regularity, application and marketing. The overall the architect the the physical layer of the HyperLAN 2 standard adds the preamble of the DSS IEEE 802.11 to its own DLC packets. Then by defining a number of logical channels similar to GSM or TDMA systems, transmits the packet as OFDM modulated burst. OFDM means orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. Next layer is DLC layer. The DLC means data link control layer. The DLC layer provides for a logical link between an AP and the MTs over the OFDM physical layer. The MAC layer. Next layer is the MAC layer. MAC protocol and frame format for logical and transport channels are the major elements of the DLC layer. Using MAC protocol, multiple users share the medium for information transmission and control signaling using transport channels. HyperLAN 2 implements 4 protocols for proper operation of the network. These protocols are Radio Link Control Protocol, RLC protocol, DLC Connection Control, DCC, and Radio Resource Control, RRC, and the last one is Association Control Function, ACF. DLC also supports the error control EC mechanism over logical channels to improve the reliability of the link. Next one, security of the HyperLAN. In this, comprehensive security mechanisms are seen for the first time in the HyperLAN 2 system. HyperLAN 2 supports both the use of DES and triple DES algorithms for strong encryption. Secret and public key algorithms can be employed for authentication. Authentication is possible using message authentication codes based on MD5, HMAC, and digital signature based on RSA. HyperLAN 2 supports a variety of identifiers for identification of the MS. And finally, requirements of the HyperLAN. The original functional requirements for the HyperLAN 1 were defined by ETSI. These requirements are short range, that is 50 meters, low mobility 1.4, networks with and without infrastructure, support isochronous traffic, audio 32 kbps, 10 ns latency, video 2 mbps, 100 ns latency, support asynchronous traffic, last one is data 100 mbps, immediate access, and support the power saving. This is the HyperLAN technology. Next topic is ZigBee. ZigBee technology. ZigBee technology. The standard is IEEE 802.15.4 standard. The architecture IEEE 802.15.4 defines lower layers of the protocol stack, that is MAC and physical layers. Next, ZigBee specification is defines upper layers of protocol stack from network to application layers, including application profiles. 802.15.4 basics 802.15.4 is a simple packet data protocol for lightweight wireless networks. The first four properties are basics are there. First one is channel access is via CSMA by CA and optional time slotting. Number two, message acknowledgement and an optional beacon structure. Next, multi-level security and works well for long battery life. The technology defined by the ZigBee specification is intended to the simpler and less expensive than other wireless personal area networks such as Bluetooth or more general wireless networks such as Wi-Fi. Applications include the wireless light switches, home energy monitors, traffic management system and other consumer and industrial equipment that requires short range low rate wireless data transfer. Zigbee was conceived in 1998, standardized in 2003. General characteristics of Zigbee. Data rates of 250 kbps, 20 kbps and 40 kbps. Star or peer-to-peer operation. Support for low latency devices. CSMA by CS channel access. Dynamic device addressing. Low power consumption and 16 channels in the 2.4 GHz ISM band, 10 channels in the 915 MHz ISM band. Extremely low duty cycle. These are the characters. Zigbee was next one. In this diagram, Zigbee network. In this some nodes are there. Red nodes are Zigbee coordinator ZC. The coordinator connected to existing network with wired connection. The Zigbee router ZR, that is blue nodes are connected to existing network with wireless connection. And last one, Zigbee end devices, that is green nodes are connected to existing system and Zigbee routers with wireless connections. This is the Zigbee network. The physical functionalities of the Zigbee. Activation and deactivation of the radio transceiver, energy detection within the current channel, link quality indication for receiving packets, clear channel assessment for CSMA by CA, channel frequency selection, data transmission and receive. These are the physical layer functionalities. And Zigbee network layer protocol. Zigbee network layer provides reliable and secure transmissions among devices. There are three kinds of networks are supported. These are star network, tree and mesh networks. Three kinds of devices in the network layer. These are Zigbee coordinator, respond to initialization, maintaining and controlling the network. Next one, Zigbee router. This form the network backbone. Zigbee end device, ZED. Next one, Zigbee routing protocols. In a tree network, utilize the address assignment to obtain the routing paths. In a mesh network, 2 points, reactive routing and use tree routing. And then use cases of Zigbee. Zigbee protocols are intended for embedded applications requiring low power consumption and low data rates. The different applications of Zigbee. First one is home automation, wireless sensor networks, industrial control systems, embedded sensing, medical data collection, smoke and intruder warning, and building automation, remote wireless microphone configuration. Zigbee is not for situations with high mobility among nodes, hence it is not suitable for tactical ad hoc radio networks in the battlefield which high data rate and high mobility is present and needed. Next one, application profiles. The first Zigbee application profile, home automation, was announced in November 2nd, 2007. Additional application profiles have since been published. These are the Zigbee Smart Energy 2.0 specifications. Define Internet protocol based communication protocol to monitor, control, inform and automate the delivery and use of energy and water. It is an enhancement of the Zigbee Smart Energy version 1 specifications. It is being developed by partners including Home Grid Forum, responsible for marketing, certified by UTI. Next, Home Plug Powerline Alliance, International Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE International. Next, IPSO Alliances, Sun Specific Alliances, Wi-Fi Alliances. These are the application profiles. Device types and operating modes of Zigbee. Zigbee devices are of the three kinds. First one is Zigbee coordinator, second one Zigbee router and Zigbee end device. Zigbee coordinator, the most capable device. The coordinator forms the root of the network tree and might bridge to the other networks. There is precisely one Zigbee coordinator in each network since it is the device that started in the network originally. It stores information about the network, including acting as the trust center and repository for security keys. Next one is Zigbee router. As well as running an application function, a router can act as an intermediate router, passing data on from other devices. Zigbee end devices contains just enough functionality to talk to the parent node, and it cannot relay data from other devices. This relationship allows the node to be asleep a significant amount of the time, thereby giving long battery life. This is the Zigbee technology. Next topic is wireless local loop. Wireless local loop is a generic term for an access system that uses wireless links rather than conventional copper wires to connect subscribers to the local telephone company switch, also known as fixed wireless access or simply fixed radio. The system uses an analog or digital radio technology, provides telephone and data services to business and residential subscribers. That is the wireless. WLL is the use of a wireless communication link, the last mile or first mile connection for delivering plain old telephone service, POTS, or internet access. Various types of WLL systems and technologies exist. WLL technology simply means that the subscriber is connected to the nearest exchange through a radio link instead of through these copper wires. WLL, that is wireless local loop, stands for wireless local loop, and it is basically the use of radio to provide a telephone connection at the home. It is sometimes called radio in the loop or fixed radio access. Next, when WLL connects subscribers to public switched telephone network, PSTN, and radio signals are used as a substitute for copper for all or part of the connection between subscriber and the switch. WLL systems provide rapid deployment of basic phone service in areas where the terrain or telecommunications development. Next, Advantages of WLL. In general, wireless local loop is cheaper and quicker than copper wire connectivity. As the cost of copper rises over time, and so does the cost of digging. This is likely to become a uh, ever more significant advantage. This is a significant factor in crowded urban localities where permission to dig may be almost impossible to get. Another major advantage of using a radio link for the last mile is that it considerably reduces the number of faults. Uh, WLL should solutions include analog systems for medium to low density and rural applications. For high density, high growth, urban and suburban locations, there are WLL solutions based on code division, multiple access, CDMA, TDMA, time division, multiple access, and GSM telecommunication systems are also offered. And WLL technology is also generally compatible with existing OSS operation support systems as well as existing transmission and distribution systems. WLL systems are existing systems are scalable, enabling operators to leverage their previous infrastructure investments as the system grows. Uh, Next, technical transition of WLL. Traditionally, in the telephone systems, copper wire has provided the link in the local loop between the telephone subscriber and the local exchange. But copper's seen its prime in the local loop and its reign is coming to an end. WLL uses wireless technology coupled with the line interfaces and other circuitry to complete around and about the last kilometer between the customer premises and the exchange equipment. Next, on the customer side, the radio unit connects to the premises writing, enabling customers to use existing phones, modems, fax machines, and answering devices. In this figure, customer premises in this cell site, fixed wireless terminal connects to the phone, fax, computer, answering machines. These are the WLL connection. Next, wireless local loop architectures. WLL systems come in several architectures. A PSTN based direct connect network, a mobile telephone switching office mobile switch center, MTS1 MSC network, and properties network. In this architecture, these are all the protocols. PSTN based direct connect. There are several key components of PSTN direct connect network. PSTN to radio interconnect system provides the connections concentration interface between the WLL and wireless network. Next one, system controller SC provides radio channel control functions and serves as a performance monitoring concentration point for all cell sites. Next one, base transceiver station BTS. This is the cell site equipment that performs the radio transmit and receive functions. Next, fixed wireless terminal. This is a fixed radio telephone unit that interfaces the standard telephone and the transmitter and receiver between the telephone and the base station. Last one, operations and maintenance center OMC. This is the responsible for the daily management of radio network and provides the database and statistics for network management and planning. This is the wireless local loop. all topics are completed first unit. Thank you.